The ABMI Public Access Television Network presents Bowling for Scholars. Welcome into Sparetime Recreation in the historic village of Whitinsville for today's celebrity match where bowlers compete to win scholarship money for the private school of their choice. Hi neighbors and welcome to our telecast. I'm Pete Royce. We have two special guests bowling here tonight. Let's meet who they are. First to my right we have Scott Visbeck, the Vice President of Special Lending for UniBank. Scott, welcome to the show. Tell us a little bit about your background.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having us. Well, I don't know. I've been in banking for 24 years with UniBank, probably close to 40 overall, but no, not 40, sorry, my bad, 35 overall. Really enjoy my time here. I'm born and raised in Whitinsville.
Great.
So I'm a hometown kid. My boys are born and raised here, and my family's all here, mom and dad, grandma and grandpa. So.
But how about your bowling experience? How would you describe that?
Well, I haven't been in a Candlepin bowling league alley probably 40 plus years, so I'm expecting little today.
Okay, and who will you be bowling for here today, Scott?
The Whitinsville Christian School.
Okay, good luck. Thanks for coming. Okay, to my left, Brian Lang of Koopman Lumber. Brian, tell us what you do at Koopman.
I'm a regional manager at Koopman Lumber. I've been there 6.5 years. Been in the industry for about 14, maybe 15. Sorry, what was the question?
I was just going to ask you, what about your bowling experience? How would you describe that?
Did a little duck pin back in the day, similar to Candlepin, but we'll see how the Candlepin goes.
So I get my flowers in the spring from Koopman. When will the flocks be out so I can come by and pick them up?
They landed today.
Oh, good. I'll be there. Okay, who are you bowling for here today?
Precious Ones Childcare and Preschool in Whitinsville.
Okay, here we go. Brian Lang and Scott Visbeck. Scott is up next on Bowling for Scholars. So here we go. We start our first of three games. This is Scott Visbeck bowling on lane 3. In his first ball, he's going to take out a pin. He gets a courteous round of applause on that one. Scott Visbeck, ball number 2, much better. And his third ball to wrap up this frame. He's got a 5 box, a 5. And Scott will move over to lane number 4. Scott is the Vice President of Special Lending at UniBank. And his ball is going to come in, and he's going to spill down 6. He's got a lot of dead wood here. This could go, but he's got to place it on that lead pin. Nope, he missed it. So he'll have one more ball. Good turnout here from the folks at UniBank. There's his next ball, and that is a 7. You cannot count that. Yeah. So he's got 12, and here is Brian to throw his first 3 balls of the night. Brian Lang. His first ball was going to veer off, and he's like Scott. He too will take out that same 7 pin. Ball number 2. He goes to the other end. 7 and 10 are down. 8 pins still remaining for Brian Lang. And his next ball right in there. He clears it down with an 8-pin spill, a total box. So he leads at 8-5 after 1. Today marks the end of our second year of Bowling for Scholars. And we'll be beginning season 3 on our next episode. And I'm proud to tell you all of the stations now on our network. We've picked up 12 stations since we started back in 2023. And with today's show, we'll be on 14 public access stations. And I'll give you the rundown on who they are just a little bit later. So it's 14-12. After 2 boxes, and Scott is back up on lane 3. Scott's first ball in frame number 3. Again, he's going to veer off. and that'll go in the gutter. Second ball. Again, we've seen that so many times when they put one on one side and then they come back and overdo it with the adjustment. And that ball is going to be a 1. That's going to be a 1. So he's at 13. No pins count if the ball first goes in the gutter and then knocks them down. That's right down the middle. It veered off at the end. And he chops 2. He's got 5 left. And it'll be a 5-pin box for Scott Visbeck. He's 18 through 4. And here's Brian for his 3rd and 4th boxes of this game. Our producer today is Tyler James. Our scorekeeper is Steve Saracino. Oh, right down the bunny hole. So 7 pins still standing. He's going to have a slight lead here after 3 frames. And that's going to be a 4 box. He's at 18. And Brian with the 5-pin lead over Scott as he goes to lane 4. And he knocks down 5. He's got that popular picket fence, the worn 2, 4, and 7, and the 8-pin is the back pin. He's got a chance for this. Oh, we're just a little bit too full. He will still have a little lead after 4 frames of the first game. And that's a better ball. He's got a 9. So he's at 27. Got a 9-pin lead for Brian Lang, a regional manager for Koopman Lumber. Here's Scott, his 5th box. Right down the middle, and he's got a strike. A strike. And he spills them all, our first mark of the night. What a beautiful ball that was. That's going to close the gap tremendously unless Brian can duplicate it. His first ball on the strike. And he got 2 in a row. He's got 9. He has a chance for a spare on the strike. This is a spare on the strike. If he can knock this down with the wood covering it, he's got a chance. He's got it. A 20-pin box. Wow. And here is Brian now trailing it big. He puts the ball down. And the pin's still falling. Still falling. No, that veered off. That does not count. 1 off, 1 off, 1 off. So he's got 7 so far. And that's a 9-pin box. $38-36. On the spare, it's no. I'm sorry, this is Brian. This is not on the spare. No. So that's a 4 box, a 4. Now here's Scott on his spare fill. On the spare, and that'll be 2, 4 on the spare. 52 for Scott. And that's going to be in the gutter. Second ball. 9. Oh, 5, 9, 5, 9. Scott Visbeck with the 12-pin lead. And he's just a little bit too full. So he's got 2, 4, 6 remaining. That's a good ball. And he gets 8. So here's Brian. So we'll have one more ball here. Okay, so that was at 45. By 6, he got a 6 there, 46. And that hops over the gutter. And his ball is going to veer off. 2, 4, 6, 7, a 3-box, 49. So the last 2 boxes here of the first game. Here's Scott Visbeck with a 16-pin lead after 8. And he drops a neat 6. Possible spare leave. Right down the hole. Right in the bunny hole. Frame number 9. First game. And he gets an 8-box, 73. Goes to his last frame of the first game. Take it. Two. That will count. And that's going to be a 3-box. So he'll then end up with 76 after one game. And that will not do it for Brian. He's down 16 pins. Bowling is not an easy game. He's got one more here. They're saying right down the middle, a little round of applause. A little cheer for Brian, and he does get better with it. So he's got 2, 4, 6, 7, a 3-box. He's at 52. And his first ball of the 10th frame. That's a better ball. 6. He's going to be down pretty big here in the first game. But 2 more games to come, and maybe he'll get hot. Can he follow? He finishes it off with a 10, and a nice 10. And so, after one game, So after one, the score is Scott Visbeck 76 and Brian Lang 62. Today's scholarship is provided by ABMI Inc., Runway Motors, the family and friends of Tony Khoury and Tony Khoury Industries, UniBank, and Koopman Lumber. Special thanks to Sparetime Recreation, the New England Country Club, SportClips of Milford, home of the MVP, Armando's of Worcester, New England Steak and Seafood Restaurant, Dairy Queen of Milford, and Harry's Famous Pizza of Whitinsville, the official food service provider of the Bowling for Scholars crew. Welcome back to game number 2. Here's Brian up. He trails by 14 pins. And he starts with the ball in the lane. That will not count. Ball still veering off. Much better. Right in there, and he's got a 9 box. Opens with a strong 9. He had a lead for a while until Scott put together a strike and a spare in consecutive boxes. And that hit the lob line and veered off. Same thing. He's hitting that lob line and the ball is veering off. Got to extend his ball a little bit to get to the smooth surface of the lane. That's better. And he gets 5. So he's at 14 through 2. There you go. Here's Scott, and he puts it in the gutter. He leads after one game, 76-62. Just a little while, I'll tell you all the stations that are now carrying Bowling for Scholars. And we greet the viewers in Maynard and Boston. Maynard Cable TV and the Boston Neighborhood Network join us today. And hopefully they'll have a long run with us. 13th and 14th stations coming online with Bowling for Scholars. 9-8 after 1. This is Scott. Nice ball. Oh, it just missed that head pin. It's amazing when you don't hit the head pin. It's hard to get a good fill. Just missed it. That ball was in the exact same place the previous ball was thrown into. That's better. And he gets 8. So he leads this one 16-14. There's a 16-pin lead. Nice first ball by Brian. Can he get his first mark of the match? No, just too full on that head pin. And he's going to have a 7 box. So he's at 21 through 3. His 4th box of game number 2. 3 strings. Remember, the winning bowler will have a chance for the high-low jack for an additional $50 in scholarship money, donated by an anonymous donor. And he's got 7. He's at 28. And here is Scott. Here are the stations that are currently carrying Bowling for Scholars. Bellingham, our flagship station, ABMI Inc., Boston, Douglas, Falmouth, Grafton, Maynard, Mendon, another of our flagship stations, Milford, North Attleboro, Quincy, Shrewsbury, Upton, Uxbridge, and Worcester. 14 stations now on the Bowling for Scholars television network. We thank all of our public access providers in those towns, and we thank you for tuning in to Bowling for Scholars. That's a nice 10 for Scott. So he increases his lead by 5. It's now up to 19. He had a 14-pin lead after game 1, and now he's increased it by 5 more. And that's going to roll off to the right. The big thing here in recapping bowling to date on this show is Scott's 20-pin box in frame number 5 of the first game, where he had a strike followed by a spare. And then on the spare, he only had 4 on the fill, but still a lot of pins in those 2 boxes. That opened up the lead for him. And he's got a 9-pin box. It's at 35-7. He's got a 21-pin lead. And here's Brian Lang in frame number 5, second game. Third ball coming for Brian. And that's going to be an 8-pin box for Brian Lang. Brian, a regional manager with Koopman Lumber. He lives in Plymouth. And he's bowling for Precious One Child Care. And that's one more ball to go. He's got 5 down so far. And he will have 6, box of 6. So he's at 42. He was at 40 at this stage of the first game, so hanging in there, a couple of pins ahead. And Scott Visbeck is back up on lane 3 for his 5th frame of the second game. And that's going to roll out. He's opposite an 8 box if he wants to protect his 21-pin lead. Has to do 8 or better. And he's got 7. He's on the verge. One more ball there. And he's going to get 10. Wow. He's got 10s out of his last 3 boxes. He's at 45. Even with the strike in the first game, he was only at 38. So he adds 9 for the lead in game 2 to a 14-point game 1 lead. Leads by 23 pins. Throws a nice ball. His ball seems to hook in towards the lead pin when he releases. A little bit of a spin to it, going from right to left. It's got a diamond there left, or 4 pins in any event, 4 pins standing. Not quite a diamond, I guess. And that's going to be a 6-pin box for Scott Visbeck. So he's at 48. I'm sorry, he's at 53. 53 to 42. $53.42. He's got some good backside action. This is Brian Lang, regional manager for Koopman Lumber. And he's got a 5-pin box. Just correct your board. Here's Brian. Right down the middle. That's a good-looking ball. 7. Nope, that will not count. Take that pin off. So he still has The most he can get is a 9-pin box here. And it will be 7. 7, that's 52. Here's Scott. Big lead for Scott. Frame number 7. It's a 3-pin box. 3. Steve, correct your scoreboard using my sheet. Here is Scott Visbeck again, frame number 8. That's that little hook. It's a nice ball. He releases it to the right and it hooks over to the left. You see that spin on the ball going down. And that's a good ball. And he's going to get 9. 65 to 52. So he increases his lead by 13. It's a 27-pin lead for Scott Visbeck. Here's Brian. That's a good ball. He has a double pin, though, the 3 and the 9, back to back with some wood lingering back there. Can he get his first mark? No, he just missed that lead pin. And it'll be a 9-pin box for Brian. He's at 61. He's doing better than game 1. He was at 52 at this point. His final game total in game 1 was 62, and he's going to beat that right now. That 7 just wobbles but won't go down. He's got the 4 horsemen right, 1, 3, 6, and 10 in the 7-pin. Bounces off the lob line and takes out the 10. This is his last ball of game number 2. And that's right there. Oh, he chops it though with 7. He's at 68. So Brian at 68, 2-pin total of 130. And here's Scott Visbeck to finish up. Oh. So that pin will not count. And he chops out 1. That's 1 so far in this game for Scott in this frame. Frame number 9 of the second game. And he's going to have 1. So it's a 1-pin box for Scott. So he loses 8. He has a now 19-pin lead. Last frame of the second game. He's got 1. He's opposite a 7 box. Much better ball there. Takes out a bunch of pins, gets some applause. His last ball of the second game. And that's going to be a 7 box. So he's at 73. So his 2-string total is 149. He leads at 149 to Brian Lang's 130. Game 3 is next on Bowling for Scholars. So we begin game number 3 of our 3-string match between Scott Visbeck and Brian Lang. Sorry, there's the first ball. It's a beauty. The 1, 2, 4, 7 and the 9-pin looming in the background. Scott with a 19-pin lead to start this third game. He's bowled strings of 76 and 73. And Brian's been in the 60s twice, 62 and 68. Here's his second ball. Chops out one. Sorry, that was his third ball. That's a 6 box for Scott. Can he leave the door open a little bit for Brian Lang? Today's match wraps up our second season of Bowling for Scholars. And to date, we've awarded nearly $7,000 in scholarship money. Today, bowlers are bowling for $650 in scholarship money for the school of their choice. And for Scott, he's bowling for the Whitinsville Christian School. And for Brian, he's bowling for Precious One Child Care. And that's going to zip off to the left. That's a 5-pin box for Scott. He's at 11 through 2 frames. Here in the third game. Here's Brian Lang. And that does not count. Normally we reset if a ball is in the gutter on the first ball, but we didn't do it that time. So it's a 8-pin box. 8-pin box for Brian. Picked up 2 pins. He trails by 17. Opposite of 5. He can climb closer. Nope. Just gets that skinny 10-pin down. We had a chance earlier this month to go to the Worcester Historical Museum and see a great Candlepin bowling exhibit on display there on Chestnut Street in Worcester. Tribute to the history of Candlepin bowling, which was invented in the city of Worcester. It's a 7-pin box, 15, so he's picked up 4. He trails by 15 now. Yes, we had a chance to visit, and some of you may have seen on our public access stations our report that we did from Worcester on the birthplace of Candlepin bowling. We thank Vanessa Bumpkus from the Worcester Historical Society, now called the Museum of Worcester, for her hospitality in hosting us when we did our report on that great exhibit of Candlepin bowling. And Scott's going to finish with a 9 box. So he's at 20. Nice 9. This is frame number 4. Stay tuned after the show for the high-low jack. The winning bowler will have a chance for the 1-7-10 with no wood, 1 ball for an additional $50 in scholarship money donated by an anonymous donor. Should the winning bowler get 3 marks in a row in today's match in 1 string, that's an additional $50 in bonus money as well, scholarship money. He has that triangle there, the 4, 7, and 8. And that's going to be a 7-pin box for Scott Visbeck. He's at 27 through 4. And here's Brian. Needs to get more than 16 in the next 2 boxes to close the gap a little bit more. Down by 15 now. That's a good ball. Can he get his first mark of the match? He's got to use that wood somehow, but it's not in a good position. Might deflect the ball away. He puts it right there, just misses the 7. So he's even with 9 pins dropped on this frame, just like Scott dropped 9. And he picks up 1. So he's got 25. So it's 14 is the lead now for Scott. And the ball just veered again. Some backside action. He's got a chance for his first spare of the match. Brian Lang, can he hit it? Can he hit that stripe on that ball? He's got a chance. He's got it, a spare. So he's already picked up 3 pins in this frame. And here's Scott in frame number 5. 3 pins down, 7 to go. Still 3 pins down, 7 to go. This could be interesting here today. And it's going to be a 5 box for Scott. So he's at 32 through 5 as he approaches frame number 6 in lane 4. And that's going to be a gutter ball. Scott Vispek bowling for the Whitinsville Christian School. And his second ball, much better, leaves 5 up there. And that's a 6 box. He's at 38. And here's Brian on a spare fill now. Spare fill is at 35. Plus this ball in frame number 4. Oh, he hesitated. He'll restart, and here he goes on the spare fill. And it's going to be only 1. Oh, that hurt. 36. He's picked up 9 pins. He trails by 10. And 1 the other way. So the 19-pin deficit has been brought down to 10. And he's got 7. 43, 11. It's down to an 8-pin lead now for Scott. 8 pins. Fortunately, a gutter ball for Brian. So the lead stays at 8 at the moment. 8-pin lead. That's better. Oh, a little bit too full on that 3-pin. It's opposite of 6. He needs to drop a few to close the gap a little bit. That will do it. And he's got 8. 51. It's a 6-pin lead for Scott Vispek in the match. 6 pins is all. The 19-pin lead has been cut down to 6. Here's Scott. And he was happy to see that 10-pin fall. 6 still standing on the left side of the alley. Lane 3 from Sparetime Recreation in historic Whitinsville. Oh, that's going to be a 5 box. The door is open again for Brian. We've never had a tie after 3 strings of bowling where we had a roll-off. If that happens, it'll be 2 frames of bowling for each bowler. Total pinfall over those 2 frames will determine our winner. If it's still tied, we'll do 2 more and we'll keep going. Two. The door is open for Brian. The door is open for Brian. Trails by 6 in the match. His first ball is a good one. And he drops 6. He trails by 5 in the match at the moment. Second ball. Takes out 1 more. Trails by 3 in the match. Trails by 2 in the match. Now let's check that total. 59-16. He trails by 3 overall in the match. By 3. Oh, he goes with the half Worcester right. Knocked out the 3 and the 9. Trails by 3 pins. Oh, he got that lead pin. He's going to take the lead. He has the lead at the moment. And he's going to get 10-69. No, let's check this out. Yes, he's got the lead. He's got the lead by 2. It's a 2-pin lead. if that's right. Let's check that math. 24. No, it's a 5-pin lead, I believe. And that's a gutter ball there. It's a 5-pin lead for Brian. This is going to come down to the last box. And it's 6-51. Here's Scott's last box of the match. And he drops 5. He needs to get a good box here to possibly pull this one out. He had a long lead, but it's dissipated. And that's not going to do it. No, that does not count. So that's 2. So he's got virtually 5 pins still standing. And that's going to be a 5 box. 56 is his total, and his 3-string total. We'll have that for you in a moment. 205. Oh, that's going to just skim it. He's got 6. It's going to come down to the last box here. A 7 box, 76. He's got a 6-pin lead. Oh, he chops out 1. I believe he cannot lose. I think he's your winner today. And that'll prove it as he knocks down 2, 4, 6, 4. He's opposite of 5, but he had a big lead. And that's the last ball of the game. And he gets 9. 85. And it's all over. Brian Lang with a total of 215. And Scott Visbeck, 205. We'll watch Brian bowl the high-low jack in just a moment. Today's scholarship is provided by ABMI Inc., Runway Motors, the family and friends of Tony Khoury and Tony Khoury Industries, UniBank, and Koopman Lumber. Special thanks to Sparetime Recreation, the New England Country Club, SportClips of Milford, home of the MVP, Armando's of Worcester, New England Steak and Seafood Restaurant, Dairy Queen of Milford, and Harry's Famous Pizza of Whitinsville, the official food service provider of the Bowling for Scholars crew. So it's all over. Brian Lang with a 215, a big comeback, 29-pin lead to wipe out a 19-pin deficit and take a 10-pin victory. And we'll be donating, well, we don't know how much. Right now it's at $650 to Precious One Child Care. And it could be up to $700 if he makes this high-low jack. 1 ball, the 1, 7, and 10. Nobody's ever completed this ball on Bowling for Scholars. And here he goes, Brian Lang for $50 additional for Precious One Child Care, and it will not happen. And so that's it. We'll be talking to our bowlers next on Bowling for Scholars. Well, it's all over as Brian Lang comes back with a big 85-pin drop on the third game, and he wins it 215 to 205. Let's talk to our bowlers. First, yes, indeed. We'll talk to Scott Visbeck. Scott, you had a big lead. What happened there in the game 3?
I kind of choked it a little bit, and I'm not very good, so that's what happened.
Yeah. Well, you really enthralled the audience with those 2 marks in a row. The strike followed by the spare. Did you think you had a chance for 3 in a row in that game?
I didn't realize I had 2, so I wasn't going for 3, but I appreciate it.
All right. Well, thanks for coming on. We have some prizes for you here. For bowling, we have an official Bowling for Scholars key ring. That's for you. And we also have a gift card to Dairy Queen for both. Thanks for coming on.
So thank you very much.
Okay,
appreciate it.
that's good. That's Scott Visbeck. Now, Brian Lang, what a comeback. How did you do it?
I just watched what Scott was doing the first 2 frames and followed that lead.
You had a nice spare, but only a 1-pin fill on that spare. That kind of hurt you, but still, that was an 11-pin box.
Yeah, I think the wax on the lanes just weren't working for me, so.
Yeah. So we got some prizes for you as well. First of all, we have the Candlepin bowling key ring for you. Congratulations. We have a free haircut from SportClips of Milford, and we have a gift card from New England Steak and Seafood.
Oh,
Enjoy that. So that's our winner as Brian Lang wins it 215 to 205. Thanks for tuning in on behalf of Tyler James and our scorekeeper Steve Saraceno and our great audience here today. Oh, one other thing, the presentation of the check. Come on in, Steve. Brian, you get a check for $650 to Precious One Childcare. Congratulations.
Is this good at UniBank? Can I cash it across the street?
Would like all of Scott's rooters to come behind him for a little, one more photo opportunity. All of Scott's friends and supporters here. Okay, thanks for watching. That's it. We'll see you next time on Bowling for Scholars. So long, everybody.